Alright, what's up guys? NinjaDeathStrike here, bringing you another Pokemon TCG match. In today's video, I'll be using a ZebStrike Gardevoir deck that I actually got a few comments way back when TCGO first came online with a request for this deck. Finally got around to building it, so here we go. I choose not to bench that Mewtwo in the opening. Probably a mistake, since an opposing Mewtwo could just X-ball the bejesus out of my Trubbish, but it works out here. That doesn't happen, otherwise I wouldn't be posting this. But I probably should have benched it just to be safe. So here, I'm going to play Random Receiver. I don't really want to Juniper away all of this stuff. I get a Sharon. Don't get a whole lot of stuff going on to go with it. I did get an Ultra Ball, so I'll be able to Ultra Ball for something. Unfortunately, starting with Trubbish here, not the best, obviously, because you want to start with your Zebras. So I'm going to have to just Ultra Ball for Zebra and then actually attack without reading what his attack does. So I choose to put an energy on top of my deck when I clearly should have put the Sharon on top of my deck. That was just a really dumb mistake because I didn't read the card and what it did. I thought it got shuffled back in. I didn't know it went on the top. So yeah, that was really, really stupid, and it's kind of going to be an issue. So my opponent does go for the Juniper, gets rid of a bunch of stuff, drops down a Sableye and a Drifloon. So that's unique. This is a interesting take on a Hammer Time deck. It also plays Drifblim to try and capitalize on being able to discard all of the special energies. So this matchup just sucks for me so much. Yeah, Hammer Time, if you don't get a Zebra turn 2, you are in big, big trouble. And I'm not going to be able to get a ZebStrike turn 2 to attack with because I had to start Trubbish. So I'm going to be really crunched for energy because he's going to be able to just start playing those crushing hammers, and if he gets a couple of heads, I'm just not going to be able to discharge, and he's not going to be item locked, and my whole deck is just going to fall apart. So this is actually probably ZebStrike's worst matchup because they just kill your energy. There's nothing you can do about it. And on top of that, Darkrai is really good against Zebras. If you don't get a large cloak, they die in one hit. He's already got 2 energy on that, thanks to the Dark Patch. So I'm in big trouble real fast. Then the Dark Claw means that even with Giant Cape, I still am going to be knocked out in one hit. And more Crushing Hammers. So I finally am at least going to be able to get a Garbodor into play here and shut off his abilities. So that'll strengthen my catchers. I'm going to go ahead and play the experience shares down on my other ZebStrike, my other Blitzels, so that if this ZebStrike dies, which it very well could next turn, I can at least save the energy, assuming it doesn't get Crushing Hammered. So here, I catch her up that Zorua, because now that Dark Cloak is not in effect, he will have to pay to retreat. That means the only way he's going to be able to attack with Darkrai is if he gets a Dark Patch. He can't afford to retreat and attack, but of course he has a Tool Scrapper. Of course. So never mind. That's just not going to work. Because now Dark Cloak is back into play. He can retreat and save his energy. He still does need a Dark Patch, but it's going to make it a lot easier because he doesn't have to waste his energy. He gets to keep it, and he can go into Sableye, get his stuff back again. And it's like turn 4, I haven't done anything yet, which is really, really bad. So bad. because this deck needs to start item locking on turn 2. If it doesn't, it just dies. So finally, I'm going to get to attack here. He chooses to go for Ascension instead of going for Junk Hunt. Doesn't get the Crushing Hammerheads, which is big because it means I finally get to have 2 freaking energies in play. So that's good. I'm going to level ball here, find out my other NinjaDeathStrike is prized. I didn't check earlier, so that sucks. I only have 2 zebras now, and I don't have a large cloak, so as soon as Darkrai attacks me, I'm going to be dead. I did get lucky enough to get the Rocky Helmet onto Garbodor, so at least Dark Cloak is not working. And he is item locked now. It's just a little too late. He chooses to retreat here into Sableye, which I don't understand why. I guess he didn't quite have enough to knock me out, so he figured he'd just go for a Junk Hunt. But he's item locked, so I don't get what he was going for here. He's not going to be able to play those cards, and he's just going to give me another turn to discharge without worrying about eating a Night Spear. So, yeah, not sure what his thought process was there, but I finally get my setup, and I'm going to probably Ultra Ball here for a second Garbodor, just because it's a really, really good idea to have a second one. Not as big a concern in this deck since you can prevent catcher kills, but still good because once I do break the item lock, there's a chance I could get catcher killed, and I'd like to have a second one in play just so that I keep the ability lock going. So here, there's nothing really to do. I don't want to waste a catcher. I'm perfectly fine attacking the Sableye. Junk hunting for him is not going to do any good because he can't use his items. It's actually, I don't know, it might actually almost help me because it's just going to clog up his deck with things he can't use. Of course, they are going to be useful once he is able to use the items, once I decide to break the item lock, or once I can't chain disconnects anymore. But for now, it's not really going to help him out. So he manual retreats here, goes into Darkrai, Night Spears my Zebra, and I'm sure he actually puts 30 onto the, what's it called, Garbodor, which is fine. I'm going to go ahead and promote my other one. I need to keep the item lock going right now. And, yeah, I'm willing to sacrifice this Zebra for another turn of item locking because there's really not anything I can do to keep it alive. I can, however, Catcher, which is going to be great since Dark Cloak doesn't work. I can essentially trap something active and discharge. Definitely think I should go for, the Zoroark here. It's the only thing he has with 2 retreat. That means it's going to be really hard for him to retreat it next turn. And it also doesn't have any energy on it, so I don't have to worry about it attacking. Unfortunately, I can't get a lightning energy, so I have to attach the DCE in order to use the discharge. It looked like I could have played that N. I don't know why I didn't. Definitely should have, so I could hopefully get a lightning energy. That was another pretty big mistake. So here I draw the lightning energy. I'm excuse me, my throat's dry. I attach it to NinjaDeathStrike. Why? I haven't the slightest idea. Maybe I'm planning to attack, but I definitely should have put that on Mewtwo. Maybe I was worried about him having his own Mewtwo, but with all the other stuff he has in this deck, that's pretty unlikely. So, oh, okay. That's why, because I still had 2 experience shares on board, so it actually was fine. It means that I got to move one to my Blitzel and one to Mewtwo, and that way, if I get a NinjaDeathStrike off of this prize, I can actually item lock again if I need to. So Mewtwo has a bunch of energy on him now. Not quite enough to one-hit KO that Darkrai. I do 160, which is disappointing. Definitely should have put the energy on Mewtwo that turn before, and then I could have one-shotted this Darkrai. So another misplay from me. You can tell I am not experienced playing this deck. This is one of the earlier matches. I haven't used it that much. I just wanted to try it out because it looked like a lot of fun. So yeah, another misplay, and he gets another Tool Scrapper here, or the same Tool Scrapper back, and gets rid of my stuff. I'm not item locked either, so he is going to get a huge turn here. Just going through all of his items, Dark Patches, Random Receiver, I think he played, and to top it all off, he got a catcher, so he pretty much had the perfect hand. He's been running really hot just in general. He got those crushing hammers early. He's had a supporter almost every turn, I think. It just seems like everything's going his way. He gets another Tool Scrapper, so all of my tools are gone. And, okay, he didn't get the catcher. I thought he did. So he Night Spears here, and I am in a bit of trouble. So I'm going to put the Large Cloak onto my other Garbodor just to try and keep him alive. It's also going to initiate the ability lock again, and then I can X-Ball this Darkrai and kill it. And I finally draw my other ZebStrike, probably a little bit too late, but whatever. Still no item lock, so hammers are potentially a big deal here. Catcher is as well, but thanks to the Large Cloak, I should be okay keeping a Garbodor in play. He finally gets his Drifblim. I'm not sure how many special energies I have in the discard. I don't think I have any. But he's going to Dark Patch here to Darkrai, and then he actually just has to pass because he doesn't have an energy to attach and retreat. So, huge turn for me. Massive turn. Huge swing. That one turn, him missing, is going to be what I need to get back into this game. So, here I initially attached to my bench Mewtwo, but then I have to pause. I have to go back and do Mewtwo math here. So, luckily I undo before I play that catcher, and I count up how many energies I need. I didn't want to attach to the active Mewtwo because it's so injured, but attaching one more energy is actually going to be enough to one-shot this Darkrai, and that's just going to be huge. It's going to let me take 2 prizes, take out his main attacker. He's going to be left with just Drifblim, which is not that big a deal, and even when my Mewtwo goes down, I'll still be able to respond fairly well. So it is a slight problem going down to 1 card. There's always the possibility of an N here, but he didn't do much his last turn, and there he plays Sharon, so I am in the clear for the N, and I actually drew a Lightning Energy, which is perfect because that's all I need. Drifblim has 100 HP, it's got 2 energy on it, and I can just X-Ball it for the win. So that's going to be the match. It was a pretty good one, I think. I definitely made some misplays, but my opponent's deck was a little bit hodgepodge. So normally, if they're playing straight up Hammer Time, ZebStrike and Garbodor just don't have a chance. It's such a bad matchup, but luckily here I was able to squeak out a win, and yeah, so thumbs up if you liked the video, leave me a comment about it, check out the links in the description, and as always, I will have more coming your way shortly. Thanks for watching, guys.